We polled you guys, the Toasty Bros community, on what was the best Nvidia GPU, and you guys said the RTX 5070 Ti, which is over $1,000 right now.
And its competitor, the 9070 XT, is sometimes $300 cheaper than it, but you all keep buying the 5070 Ti. Today we're gonna do an updated benchmark video. The RX 9070 XT versus the RTX 5070 Ti. Is spending $300 more actually worth it? We'll talk about that after a word from today's sponsor.
If you're anything like me, you probably spend a lot more time in your gaming chair than you'd like to admit. Whether it's gaming, editing videos, working, or just going down a YouTube video rabbit hole, being comfortable at your desk can make a bigger difference than most people realize. That's why I want to thank today's video sponsor Autoful and introduce you to their M6 Ultra 2.0 chair. What I like about this chair is that it feels like it was designed around comfort and focus first, rather than just trying to look like a race car seat. Instead of flashy gimmicks, it includes features that actually improve the experience of sitting at your desk for long periods of time. For example, it has a built-in back massage system, which is great during long gaming sessions or after spending hours editing or working. It also includes seat ventilation to help keep you cool during those sweaty ranked games, and even seat heating for those times when you want a little extra comfort. And I know some people don't like the idea of like a power cable running from their chair, and my workaround was using a portable battery bank and tucking it into the cable pouch. With multiple features running, it never pulls more than 10 watts, which is crazy. Plus, it comes with 720-degree multi-directional fully adjustable armrests, a 3D ErgoCloud headrest and neck pillow, 6-way adjustable dynamic lumbar support, and my personal favorite feature, a 160-degree recline and built-in footrest for peak relaxation. Whether you're grinding ranked matches, working on a deadline, streaming for hours, or watching shows late into the evening, the M6 Ultra 2.0 is built to support those long sessions and give you exceptional comfort with a spec sheet that actually makes sense. If you'd like to check out the Autoful M6 Ultra 2.0, check out the link in the description down below. There will be a discount code down there as well to give you an additional 5% off any promotional pricing currently going on. Big thanks to Autoful for sponsoring today's video. Now, let's get back to it.
Now, at the time of filming this video, we're looking at around $1,000 here for our 5070 Ti, and then our RX 9070 XT is around $730, but that may change quite a bit by the time this video even goes live, so just keep in mind, we're really just showing you guys the actual comparisons, which that's not gonna change, and then we're gonna talk about the current price to performance.
And at the current price performance, if you are watching this in June, July, maybe July, stuff starts to change, that price gap is very big for two GPUs that when they launched were very similarly priced, and in some scenarios you could actually get the 5070 Ti for the same price if not cheaper, and they go back and forth in terms of performance. Well, that's what we think on paper. We actually need to do benchmarks ourselves because we actually haven't done it yet to show you guys what the difference is between the two and see, is the extra price difference worth it, or is it just a no-brainer to go with the cheaper option?
So first up, the RTX 5070 Ti. More specifically, we have a Gigabyte 3 fan model here. This card was released on February 20th of 2025 at an MSRP of $750, and it is PCIe Gen 5x16, has 16 gigs of GDDR7 VRAM, and has a max TDP of 300 watts, and our specific model has a 16 pin for power, which actually every 5070 above is gonna have a 16 pin for power, and we actually get 3 display ports and 1 HDMI.
Now for the 9070 XT, this is exactly the graphics card I use in my personal rig at home. It actually is. I drove home to grab it this morning and bring it back for benchmarking, but this 3-fan Gigabyte model launched at an MSRP of $599 on March 6th of 2025. It is a PCI 5.0x16 card with 16 gigs of GDDR6 VRAM and a TDP of 304 watts. And the video out on our specific model comes with 2 display ports and 2 HDMIs, and for power, this one is a bit different than the Nvidia GPU. We use the standard 8-pin power connector, more specifically 3 8-pins for power, which we'll show you guys with the power draw really makes a whole lot of sense. And the average price again for these graphics cards is around $700. There were times that this was actually on sale for $600. If you guys follow our Discord server, by the way, we do post deals very occasionally where we show you guys deals like this, and we did drop this deal for $650. You could have taken advantage of it and got even better price to performance, but we're starting to see these creep up a little bit higher even at the time of recording this video. So the big thing is, should you buy right now a graphics card at this price point? Should you save money and go with the 9070 XT or go 5070 Ti because you really want those Nvidia features? We got to show you guys the performance difference so you guys can decide at home. But let's talk about our high-end Toasty Bros test bench we will be using to test both GPUs.
For the Toasty Bros test bench, we have the Ryzen 7 9850X3D 8-core 16-threaded processor. And to cool the CPU, we're using the Asus ROG Strix LC3 360mm AIO. The motherboard is an Asus TUF Gaming B850 Plus Wi-Fi DDR5 board. We have 32 gigs of Team Group Delta RGB 6000 MHz CL28 RAM. Our NVMe is a 4TB Lexar NM790 Gen 4 SSD. We have plenty of power with the Asus TUF 1200 watt power supply that is fully modular and ATX 3.1 ready. Our case is the Asus TUF GT502, which is a pretty large full tower case, and then we loaded it with Asus TUF TR120mm ARGB fans. So now that we talked about our very high-end test bench, and of course our high to mid-range GPUs, we're going to combine them and see what we get in gaming. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on the AMD RX 9070 XT that at the time of filming is a lot cheaper than the 5070 Ti. And keep in mind, if you're watching this video 4 months from now and AMD has just price hiked the heck out of their prices, don't comment down below calling us stupid. At the time of filming, it's way cheaper.
Yep, and these cards at one point were very close in price, but now they're not, and maybe that'll go back to being expensive equally, but right now with the price difference, we're gonna see what the benchmarks are like.
Yep, so ray tracing medium, high settings, and we're gonna start with the FSR for, balance 1440p. I am gonna turn it off here in a second though, because we kind of wanna be able to see what type of FPS we get with no upscaling, because obviously we're going to be running possibly NVENC instead, or DLSS at balance. That may not be the same exact settings.
Not going to be super apples to apples, but I mean, obviously with these GPUs, you're targeting 1440p and entry-level 4K. If you're okay with upscaling, 4K, both of these cards are capable because they have the VRAM for it. And I mean, look at the settings we're running. We're getting 200 FPS in Arc Raiders.
Pretty insane.
Pretty insane. You don't need this much of a frame rate in Arc Raiders, but we're just looking at some of the numbers here. This specific model is running nice and cool, 58 degrees Celsius, pulling 330 watts, a measly 330 watts, and only barely 5 gigs of VRAM.
What the 5070 has in store. So if you want to go ahead and let's get these down so we can turn FSR off. So 202 average. As you guys can see, the numbers have drastically changed. Game still looks about the same. That's kind of how, with anything newer, like 90 series or of course 50 series, when you're running upscaling, you really can't even tell these days when you have higher end cards especially. Okay, so now it looks like we're getting an average of about 128, 1% lows of like 85. And obviously, once again, this isn't like a built-in benchmark, so these are gonna slightly vary depending on like what area we're in. So we have now shown you guys Arc Raiders in the 9070 XT with FSR set to balance, which is what we recommend running, by the way. And then TSR with just no upscaling, just native. Really good results with either one. I know some people just hate upscaling, so either way, you're gonna be just fine. You're gonna get higher refresh rate. Let's go ahead and try out the 5070 Ti 16 gig now. Funny enough, we're pretty much in the same part of the map. And you know, one thing we realized is slightly different is we're running same settings, 1440p, but this time we're using DLSS, of course, balanced. This one actually gives you the option to use the older CNN or Transformer model, since that is DLSS exclusive, while obviously FSR does not give you that. We're getting pretty good averages right now.
Looking very similar. Last time we got an average of 202, the 1% low of 136.
Okay, yeah, I was saying as we move, we might drop a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we've always thought of these cards. We've always kind of thought as the 9070 XT being a pretty direct competitor to the 5070 Ti, and then the 5080 is just slightly better than both of those, but not much.
And also one thing that's really jumping out at first is power draw. This under full load right now is pulling 217 watts compared to the 330 on the 9070 XT. So power efficiency or FPS per watt, 5070 Ti is definitely better. It just depends if that really matters to you with your system. You know, it could matter. A ball.
Yeah, if you're in a country that, like, you know, power is a little more scarce, that obviously, I mean, the 100 watts is a pretty significant difference, especially if you're running your games a lot. So, okay, well, let's just go ahead and say 203 average, 122, 1% low.
There you go. So basically 1 FPS higher on the average, and the 1% lows were actually down by like 10. So within margin of error reasonably.
All right, so now we are running no upscaling at all. We're just doing TSR again on manual, 100% render scale. And just like before, I mean, it looks really good.
It looks like it's doing slightly better. You actually are going to the same area now, because last time we got an average of 135 with a 1% low of 84.
Yeah, and it's funny too, we actually, we're pulling more wattage now.
Yes.
So right now we're pulling like 250. I don't know if, I didn't actually pay attention to the wattage, how much that changed after we turned off upscaling.
So technically a max TDP of a 5070 Ti, I would assume, running no upscaling, under full load, probably running some sort of ray tracing, can get up to 300 watts. But that's probably not sustained. It wouldn't sustain 300 like the 9070 XT. So even though it is higher right now, it definitely is still lower than the 9070 XT.
Yep, all right, let's go ahead and in this one here, we'll call this average of 148, 1% low of 104 for the all natty.
There we go. All right, guys, we are now in Pragmata. We're gonna be testing the 9070 XT first, and we're currently running the following settings. Let's go to options here. So we went to the preset options and we selected, which you can't change right now because you're actually in game, the top quality preset, which we then changed the resolution to 1440p because for whatever reason it defaulted to 1080p. But you guys can see all the settings here, no dynamic resolution scaling. We're on high settings. We are actually running some ray tracing as well, which I think I passed, by the way. Where is that? Where is that? Ray tracing, global illumination set to high. So ray tracing is enabled, and these are the other settings as well. Now our controller decided to stop working properly, so I have to wait. Hold up, let's do this right. You know what? Let's just do this. You know what? Forget it. The controller, you're not getting used. Let's fix that. We don't need a roller today, ladies and gentlemen. We're just gonna go keyboard and mouse, which normally means this is not gonna work out very well for me. But one thing we're noticing off the rip, GPU, 100%. Full utilization. We're getting all of our GPU right here. VRAM, almost 12 gigs of VRAM being used, so at this resolution, really nice having the 16 gigs. And the wattage, 300 watts.
This thing pulls some wattage, I'll tell you what.
Definitely pulls some wattage, and this area in the game is probably the most demanding part of the game as I've played it. Normally you do drop at like 30 to 40 FPS when you come into this outside area because there's just a lot of stuff happening. So this is a good area to really benchmark, and we could fight some tough guys over here if I can make it all the way over here. And running over here, the FPS averages are dropping a little bit, but we're still in the hundreds without any upscaling, which is really, really nice. Which means with some upscaling and even frames, you can get crazy high frame rates. But 1440p seems to be really, really good. So how do I? Oh yeah, like this. I remember now. Oh! I remember the tech. You look like a big
I don't
baby.
understand why people would ever like design these.
I want to know
why this way.
Yeah, why would you design them like this? Explain.
Like who said this would be good defense?
This is great.
This will scare them off.
Oh, there we go. Oh hell yeah. Shove one of these for the office.
Like for when someone tries to break in.
Yep.
Sees it running at him on all fours.
Yeah, like that. Oh God. Oh no. Back up, bozo.
Watch out, big baby.
Watch out, you big baby. Ah! Looks terrifying. Okay. We're gonna reload.
You know, honestly, I feel like we get good at the mouse tech. I feel like the
mouse tech can be pretty fast.
Kind of
to be
busted
good
for
at
going
it.
through that.
Oh, big laser. All right, here we go. Oh! Okay, that's good. That's good.
Oh, he done.
Oh, and there he goes. There we go. We'll go ahead and stop that right there. 119 average, 1% low of 94. Looking pretty good. Again, we're not running any upscaling here, but we are running ray tracing. So I'd be curious to see if the 5070 Ti performs better, worse, or about the same. All right, guys, we are now on the 5070 Ti. We're going to verify settings here real quick. Last time we got an average of 119. Let's see what kind of graphics we have here. So 1440p, once again, we're on the quality preset. Everything else is the same. We do have ray tracing on still, no upscaling. We're running all natty here, but we'll go ahead and verify that these are all the same for you guys. Go ahead and hit page up and do our little lap-de-doo. So averages are looking a little bit higher in this scenario. Again, on a game-by-game basis, which is kind of what we've seen, it really just goes back and forth between these two GPUs. Does a game favor Nvidia? Does a game favor AMD? Never really know.
It's also like depending on which upscaling you're using. Some games just run certain upscalers better than others, but you know, it makes sense. They're both 16 gig cards. They were at launch both very similarly priced too, so they're direct competitors.
In this scenario, when we're running some ray tracing with no upscaling, we are pulling around 200 watts, so wattage-wise, definitely in the still lower tier compared to the 9070 XT that was like basically pinged at 100% and was at like 330 watts. So a little flexibility there, and we'll go into an actual fighting area over here so we can get a similar example to the 9070 XT, but as we're getting a little deeper into it, the averages are dropping a little bit. So we'll see what the numbers are after I defeat this man-baby child again.
Man-baby child.
Man-baby child. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, back it up. Don't you do anything to me. Don't you do anything. Don't violate me. Yeah, take that. Oh, now you're down? Okay. Look at those.
Just like just melee him to death.
Oh, wait. Oh, it's this button. I thought normally it's F. Ooh. Got him. And I took him out way quicker. Nvidia GPU better. But 122 average, that average did go down a good amount. So 122 average, 1% low of 92, which is looking really close. So, I mean, like a 119 average before. So very, very close. We have one more Let's Play game to test, and then we'll do some more side-by-side testing.
All right, guys, we're throwing a demanding one at you all because we're actually playing Battlefield 6, but we're running this benchmark at 4K instead of 1440p. Both of these cards capable of 4K. We're running high settings quality preset, but we are using a little bit of upscaling, just a little bit. FSR set to quality. I don't know if this actually does anything, but DLSS will do 4.5 on both. No frame gen. And you guys are going to see that this is totally capable of it, especially if you're okay with, getting around higher refresh rate.
And it looks pretty dang good too.
Looks really good, yeah. Oh my god, it's a tank.
The tank's gonna get you.
Oh my god.
It is rogue operated, but ooh, got him. It's a good way to test 4K. Honestly, it loaded into 4K and we're like, you know what? We talked about how this could run 4K, so maybe we should play 4K to show you guys with some upscaling that it can definitely do it. Without upscaling, it'll be more like a 60 FPS experience.
Yeah, I mean, it looks really good. Capable of doing it. We're not even using frame jigs. I know a lot of people are upset about that. Yeah, it looks great. And obviously, when we run our Nvidia card, more than likely we'll switch to DLSS. But that's what's really cool about all these new cards is pretty much all of them work on FSR or DLSS.
It has been a while since we played this game, by the way. If there's any other games in our benchmark rotation you want to see, we've been doing pretty good at staying up to date with new titles. We'll have Forza 6 at the end here. Yeah, so an average of 117, 1% low of 92. It's pretty good. What will the 5070 Ti do? Let's find out.
All right, guys, we are back in Battlefield 6, and we're on the same map, different spot, but we're still running 4K. We'll show you just to prove everything. We got to make sure you guys believe us. We're running 4K on the high preset, and we are running DLSS quality at the 4.5 model. So obviously it's going to look real nice. I still wonder if that FSR was actually running in like the 4.5 model or not.
So I believe FSR 4 is still the highest, and I don't know why game developers haven't updated it, but like when you run FSR, even if it says FSR 3 in some games, it is running an FSR 4 in the background. I just don't understand why developers said we're not going to do it. You just killed Private Dick.
Oh, hey, look, and all I'm saying is I couldn't do that on the AMD GPU, so Nvidia kind of just wins at this point.
I will say
that's how easy we are to win.
I will say this is actually a little bit of a difference here. Again, not apples to apples because we're not in the same spot.
This is lower, right?
This is definitely lower. Before we had an average of 117 with a 1% low of 92. Beautiful. He's actually hitting snipes though, so I mean lower FPS hit snipes.
Collateral?
Collateral?
Question mark? Dude, these bots are just lined up. Oh my gosh.
Feeding.
Right, let's go get in there.
Oh wait, he killed MacGyver? Oh, wait a minute. Forget the low FPS.
We's on a hot streak. Yeah, so yeah, how much less are we getting right now?
On average, about 19 frames.
Wow, that's pretty crazy. So Battlefield seems to be one of those titles then, unless there's just maybe the upscaling's a little bit different. This is one where we never turned it off, I don't think.
No.
Sadly, we only test so much, but obviously with upscaling off, it could be a slightly different story, but I'd imagine it'd still be lower. So it just goes to show, like we said, these cards will kind of trade blows with each other. 9070 XT could be on average like 1% better.
And we'll go ahead and run the other side-by-side benchmarks. We mentioned we got Forza 6 and a couple others, so you guys can see even more with built-in benchmark tools, so you can see side-by-side. But just like last time, Jackson, I said one more sniped into it.
We have to do one more. Cheats me.
We did one more.
What, I feel like Call of Duty just gives me the snipes. Like it just gives me the kills. I'm running in.
Ah! Oh,
how?
Like what?
Huh?
Like what?
How'd I hit that?
COD's just happy we're playing it.
Oh yeah, baby.
So it gives you aimbot.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. 5070 Ti wins. No way.
Why is it
floating in the air?
Oh my goodness. How is this not going off?
Oh my.
Dude, I'm telling you, this is why no one plays this game anymore. All right.
Side by side
Next
time.
game.
All right, guys, we just had some fun doing some Let's Play benchmarks so you guys can see some live action gameplay between these two GPUs. But let's get a little more technical with some side-by-side built-in benchmark tools so you guys can see the real difference, or lack thereof, between the 9070 XT and 5070 Ti. And the games we tested are as follows. We ran Forza 6, Black Myth Wukong, Call of Duty Black Ops 7, and 3D Mark Time Spy. Now, first up with Forza Horizon 6 at 1440p Ultra preset with FSR set to quality or DLSS set to quality on the 5070 Ti and vice versa for the 9070 XT. The 9070 XT got an average of 166 FPS, while the 5070 Ti got an average of 160 FPS. Again, right here, really close in terms of the average FPS numbers here. We're only talking a 6 frame difference on the same setting preset. Both of these GPUs would run this game very, very well. And again, the 9070 XT is really showing its price to performance at the time of filming this video. Next up, Black Myth Wukong, 1440p high settings with no upscaling. We're running 100% render scale using FSR and DLSS as the scaler. So we are running 100% on both. And with the 9070 XT, we end up with an average of 91 FPS, a max of 105, and a minimum of 76, while the 5070 Ti got an average average of 96 FPS, a max of 112, and a minimum of 78. Once again, we're just trading blows here. 5070 Ti wins the Black Myth Wukong battle, and that does make sense because Black Myth Wukong is an Nvidia-focused title, and a lot of their features are Nvidia-focused, so it does make sense why this GPU does better. But we're talking a very small difference here, about a 5 FPS difference in the averages, and the max and minimums are very similar as well. So looking like a very tight race as we continue the benchmarks. Next up, we tested Call of Duty Black Ops 7 at 1440p on the balance preset, but one thing I did differently was I ran ray tracing on high settings so we could really stress these cards, and it most certainly did stress these GPUs. The 9070 XT got an average of 109 FPS with a 1% low of 66, while the 5070 Ti got an average of 96 FPS with a 1% low of 60. Call of Duty, a notorious AMD-focused game, really runs better on the AMD GPU. 9070 XT getting more FPS. So if you do play a lot of Call of Duty, maybe Warzone, maybe just normal multiplayer, going with the 9070 XT might be a better price performance option for you. And lastly, we ran 3D Mark Time Spy, our benchmark that allows us to get the cent per point, or basically how many frames you're getting per point if you want to translate it to FPS, when you're testing these two different GPUs. And the total scores are as follows. With the 9070 XT, we got a total score of 26,068. The CPU got a score of 15,624, and the GPU got a score of 29,555, which results in a 0.0247 cent per point score when talking about the GPU score. Not the total score, we're just taking the GPU score. Now the 5070 Ti, of course, is going to have a worse cent per point score just based on the price performance here, because it got a total score of 25,227, which is weirdly lower than the 9070 XT. The CPU got a similar score of 15,584, and the GPU got a score of 28,320, which results in a 0.0353 cent per point score. So as we could tell, both GPUs are very, very similar, trading blows back and forth. And at the current time of filming this video, if you can get a 9070 XT for $750 or less, it is a much better bang for buck option if you're looking for raw horsepower. Now, raw horsepower is not always the story. A lot of people may lean one way or another because they just have an allegiance towards Nvidia over AMD. I really do think some of you gamers should open your mind a little bit and give AMD a shot. As somebody who is personally driving a 9070 XT at home, I'm really enjoying the experience. It's a really awesome card, and we have a bunch of people here at the office who do drive this GPU, but that's not to say the prices are going to stay exactly the same. There is a real chance that the 9070 XT goes up in price really soon, so if you're planning a PC build and you'll get the best bang for buck mid to high-end GPU right now, get that 9070 XT. But if you're watching in the future and both of these GPUs are the same price, realistically, it just depends on what features you want more. So now we finished benchmarking all these GPUs in today's video. Let's bring Jackson back in here and wrap this video up.
So as you guys can see, the results were pretty much what we thought they were going to be. In some games, the 9070 XT is better. In some games, the 5070 Ti is better. It's hard to definitively say that one is exactly better than another, because unless we test every single game out there and average it out, they're just going to keep going back and forth, and it doesn't really seem to matter if you run FSR or DLSS on either of these GPUs. Whether you're running FrameGen, upscaling, no FrameGen, no upscaling, they just go back and forth. They're very equivalent cards.
So the end all, which you all probably could have expected if you're looking at this video in the current time where pricing is such a big gap, save the money and go 9070 XT if you're really okay with going AMD, which honestly in 2026 you definitely should be. But if you are watching this in the future and these are closer in price, it really depends on which feature set makes the most sense for you. Do you want Nvidia features? Okay, go with the Nvidia RTX 5070 Ti. But maybe you want to go AMD, your specific game favors AMD, go with the 9070 XT. And if you want to buy this GPU or maybe still a 5070 Ti, you can do so using the link in the description down below. They are affiliate links, they will help us out. Let us know what GPU you would rock in 2026 if you had this price point, or if you're using one of these GPUs, why did you go with one over the other?
But as always, we hope you guys enjoyed today's comparison. If you did, make sure to check out our other two YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/ToastyBros. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
See you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.
Now, if you want to get a PC with either one of these GPUs, check out PCBros.tech, because we got low-end and we got high-end builds.
PCBros.tech, whether you want a 5070 Ti, 9070 XT, or heck, even a 5090 build, we got you covered over at PC Bros today. Just go to Toasty Bros on checkout. You will save 3% on your next purchase. See you guys later. Goodbye.